Hey everyone, on this week's episode of ByteSIzed Talks movie review, we got a quick recap of one of the Starlink releases of their satellites. Why did they disappear? I don't know. Julian will tell us about that. Um, we'll review the movies, a quick overview of the movies Dumb Money, the Netflix release of The Machine, and the new movie on Netflix, Reptile. I'll tell you what I thought of them. And then for our undefeated topic, what's the best pan to cook with? Come check out the episode to find out. Hey everyone, welcome back to ByteSIzed Talks. My name is Gary, aka Hempy. On this movie Monday, of course, with me we got Julian. Say what's up, man.
Hey everybody, this is Julian or Joop. Hope everybody's doing well. Welcome back to another episode of ByteSIzed Talks. What do you got, Gary?
So we got the video that you actually recorded while you're allegedly fishing. Seeing some of the Starlink satellites being released. That's of course is one of our boy Elon's projects. Um, we also got a movie review. I'll be talking about the movie Dumb Money, The Machine, which came out in theaters months ago, but it's on Netflix now. And then the movie that just released on Netflix, Reptile. I'll give my critical score and thoughts about those. And for this week's undefeated topic, um, I'm going to throw up what what device, what instrument I think is best in the kitchen, um, and or to cooking. So we're going to put in the parameters of that. What device is best to cook in? I'm going to say the wok. So we'll see. We'll go back and forth on that, rebuke that, but we'll start out with that Starlink video that you had for us, man. Why don't you tell us what Starlink is before we actually get into
So,
the talk about it?
yeah, Starlink is basically Elon's attempt to bring the internet to everybody in the world. Obviously, if you're in the middle of the rainforest, you won't be able to get any internet because there's no cables running there. So it's a little difficult. And actually, I was listening to Joe Rogan's podcast, and somebody built a tree house in the middle of the rainforest, up on top of the trees. And the only way they could get in it is through the Starlink system. And the Starlink basically works by connecting a receiver on your end to the satellite dishes that are orbiting the Earth, and that's how you get connected to the
Yeah.
internet.
So it's the
Uh,
direct TV of
yeah,
but for high speed internet rather than television services.
yeah. Now, mind you, the latency is probably worse than normal internet,
What
but
covered
the
on
fact that you,
latency? You're talking about internet speed.
so the internet speed is worse than normal internet that is connected to your home.
Gracias, güey.
um, but given the fact that you can get internet whether you're in Antarctica or the middle of the rainforest is what makes it a good product.
Yeah, I want to say the number like 30 or 40% of the world still doesn't have access to the internet, which is wild
Yeah,
to think about.
and at this point, like we said, it's become a commodity. If you don't have internet, it's like not having electricity.
I mean, outside of just social media and looking up dumb stuff for entertainment, like we all use the internet. I would say daily,
Yeah,
definitely indirectly, but directly where it's like, oh, I'm feeling this. Oh, I need to order this. Let me book a trip. Like before, if you wanted to go on vacation, you had to go through like a travel agency because it was a
yeah.
pain in the ass to look up flights and stuff. To go to the movies, you used to have to call in and press one to hear the show times of the movie, and like you'd have to like go through one of those automated services. And so yeah, like the
God, bro, you're
internet.
old as hell.
What was that?
You're old as hell. God damn. You used to call in to see the movie times?
Yeah, cabrón. I mean, I'm not old enough to where we had to listen to like shit on the radio, like for entertainment. like you know, have you heard about that? Like that's how like the when they did the War of the Worlds, it was so good that they actually thought like there's an alien attack happening. Uh,
No, I didn't know
yeah.
that.
So are you familiar with the movie War of the Worlds?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. So when they're like doing a radio broadcast of that, and they're acting it out, it was so good that people got freaked out by it. They actually thought it was an actual like they're actually reporting this attack. Like, um, yeah, but just how valuable the internet is to us. I mean, so the fact that a big part of the world doesn't have this is shocking, and is his plan is to ultimately try to make it free?
I don't think he'll make it free, but he'll definitely make it accessible to them. I think
Yeah,
once he's making money off of it, he can offer like lower prices to people like in
yeah.
Africa and stuff like that.
Because I thought part of it was like he wanted to make it free, but it would be like with ads in a sense, like
Yeah, I think he's working on something like that.
because the thing about it,
Um,
like the fact that like everybody's like, oh, how much value there is in data, right?
yeah,
You could oh, God, he could get so much data by just offering free internet, like and then if you really wanted to be like, okay, free internet except for porn, like if you're gonna use it for
yeah.
that, I'm gonna charge you, like, but but if you
At that
just
point, it's not business; it's pleasure, buddy.
yeah, yeah. But if it's just like for looking up information and other entertainment, I guess I think I can see that being free and just collecting all the data from that and using that for marketing, um,
Yeah,
or for insights to the stock market and stuff. Which, um, but should we show your video? Do you think that's the next?
yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Um, so this has happened quite a few times where people see these streak of lights, uh, and they think, oh, it's aliens. It's some sort of. Yeah, I got
Oh,
you. Don't
oh,
worry.
oh, okay. I was like, why isn't?
uh, so yeah, so people see that streak of lights and immediately they start thinking aliens because obviously it's not going to be an airplane. Uh, it's not going to be a helicopter. There's way too many of them.
Yeah,
Maybe if you're in the middle of the military base, maybe. But the
yeah.
fact that they start disappearing really catches people off.
It's because it hits the
Um,
dome of the flat Earth way. That's why. Uh, I
it's
don't
actually
believe in
interesting.
flat Earth. Just gonna throw that out there. I don't want to take it out of context.
He gets into it.
I
He takes
enjoy
some
hearing.
arguments
I
to
don't
it.
get into it. I enjoy hearing what people have to say about it. It's entertaining.
Now, to put this into perspective, the Starlink satellites are orbiting around, I think
Looks
it's
that
what,
that looks
300 miles.
that looks really
What was that?
that looks really flat to me. We just kidding.
So stupid. How much you defend them? They make some convincing arguments. Gary, it's flat
No, no,
Earth.
no, no, no. I've never said that about flat Earth. I say like I'll say like it's impressive the amount of like time that they spend trying to do these things. Like one, they're like, why come the plane doesn't flip upside down? Like, but it's like that's what they show us like some dude who's like off in the hills, and you're like, okay, this buddy just likes fucking, he's off his rocker. Um, but the people who are like, they actually have a decent amount of schooling and sense. I don't, it's we'll have to do just an episode on that, just to have a little bit of fun about the
Yeah.
theories that are out there.
So going back to this, so your GPS
Should
system
probably
and the
make
way
that bigger
your phone,
if you can.
is it small?
Yeah, it's only a
It's
partial.
far, it's as big as it gets. Okay,
Yeah, that's what
it's
she.
just the right size.
uh,
Uh,
like,
is that good enough? Is that good enough for you?
I mean, I'm just saying if they're watching this on a phone or something, they won't be able to see.
Yeah, I
You
guess
know,
so. Well, I'll just
can you
describe it.
can
So,
you right click and open in a different tab?
maybe
Hey, look at who learned. Truly did.
technology.
Uh,
So the GPS system, which is what your phone uses, is approximately 10,000 miles away from Earth. These Starlink systems are here in the LEO, which is less than 1,000 miles above Earth. They're about 300 miles above Earth, so they're super close compared to other satellites. Um, and so when you start looking at these satellites, you don't realize that the sun is hitting them at just the right moment. So this is right after sunset, and obviously, since they're so high up, the sun is still hitting them, and it's
Hmm.
reflecting that sunlight to me, or my phone camera here,
Huh.
and that's why you start to see this like streak of lights. And these actually just launched on September 25th, so that's why they were in a line because they start releasing them in series, um, and so
Is that actual light
here you
produced from the satellite? It's reflection off of.
exactly. It's reflection off the satellite, which a lot of astronomers have started to complain about it because they have a hard time looking at the stars because of all these streaks.
Yeah.
But that's why they disappear. They get over that horizon, and then the sun is blocked by the Earth, and they start disappearing.
Hmm. Yeah, I would have never like hypothesized that. I would have thought it was
Yeah, me
like,
neither. I had to look it up.
I guess your girlfriend asked, hey, well, why did the lights turn up? Because they
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I came up with some bullshit ass explanation. I was like, see, the light is going from the front, and then when you get behind it, you can't see it. Kind of like when you see a truck and the lights, you can't see them from the front. Dude, she bought it. I had to look it up. I was like, oh shit, never mind. Like, why would they have lights? It's fucking satellites.
Have you seen the growing trend of boy math on TikTok and stuff?
No,
Did you see the trend of girl math?
no. What
Where
is that?
so an example would be like girl math. If you book your trip 6 months in advance, it's free because
What?
you already paid for it. So by the time it happens, the money's like been gone for so long, it's pretty much free. Or
Okay.
another example of girl math would be like if you cut your fries in half, you get twice as many fries. You can eat twice as many fries. You know, so those are like examples of girl math, but like they're like boy math when you're 5'10", but you're 6 foot on Tinder. Like yeah,
That's me.
yeah. Boy math. When you want zero kids, but you carry zero condoms. Right?
Oh shit.
uh, but all right, let's get into the movies, man.
Yeah.
So we'll start out with the one that's been out on theaters for a long time, The Machine. So I don't think we've talked about Bert Kreischer's The Machine on here, right? I don't think so.
Briefly.
Okay. So The Machine tells Bert Kreischer's famous story about when he went to Russia as part of a immersive cultural experience to learn Russian because he took Russian for, and pretty much the professor said, "Hey, we need X amount of people in this class for me to actually teach this class. Uh, Sit in that seat. I guarantee you a C." And he's like, "Deal." Like, um,
Yeah.
so when he took Russian 4, part of that experience was getting to go to Russia, and he went there. And I don't feel bad about saying the spoiler. Like the story of the machine story, anyways, is they go over there. He hangs out with all the Russian mobsters. Saying he's like, the only thing I could say was, "I'm the machine," um, and ends up having an epic party story with him where he ends up actually robbing the train, which has all his friends on. This is a spin-off of story like, what if that changed the history of Russian? Like, what if that started a series of events that led to some ridiculous story? And that's the story of the movie. I I'm not the biggest Bert Kreischer fan. Um, I just some of his stuff's like just a little over the top for me. Again, I do like his stand up. I do think he's tremendously funny. Um, but like if I had a choice of like seeing him or Shane Gillis, like I'm going to Shane Gillis. Um, there
Yeah.
are some people who are absolute like Kreischer diehards, and I would never consider myself in that camp. Uh, though I'm a fan, I'm not a diehard fan. I'm not a ride or die with Bert. Um, the machine I thought would have maybe more subtle or sub burning jokes, but it was very much on the nose. I think maybe if you weren't familiar with him at all, it might. I think it's one of two things. If you're a huge mega fan, you're gonna love it because you love everything Bert. If you're not familiar with him at all, you might have a better time with it. But where you're someone like me, where you're familiar with him, you know quite a bit of him, enough to maybe have an expectation about the movie. Um, to me, it didn't live up to that. To what I was hoping it was out of it because of all the hype and all the people he knows and all the connections he has. I was like, he should be able to come up with a really good 90 to 120-minute movie that's jam packed with comedy. You know,
Yeah.
similar. Like I was hoping for a knockout punch similar to like This Is the End. Like,
Oh yeah.
dude, when I saw that movie, I saw it twice in theaters, and I died laughing each time. You know, I think my stepdad's probably seen that movie about 5 times and still hasn't fully seen the movie because he laughs so hard at like the first joke that he'll miss like the next two or three to follow it. Like, um, so like the machine, dude, I give it a 3 out of 10. Uh, it's one of those things. It's worth watching in the sense that it's new, just to see what it is. But like, it's not something you'll return to in years to like rewatch. Um,
Yeah, that's funny. The critics actually gave it a 32%,
okay,
but the audience score is 87%. And again, that's people that are fans of Bert Kreischer.
yeah.
The fact that they created a movie out of this story is just a wow in itself.
Did you look up how much money the box office made? I remember I saw an interview with Bert like prior to the movie coming out because this one I had my broken leg, so I was staying at home watching a lot of TV and YouTube more so than now. Um, and somebody was asking Bert like, "What do you expect to see opening weekend?" He's like, "Oh, $100 million would be great." And it's like, dude,
Shit.
like, like that's what a fucking Avenger movie does. Like, dude,
Yeah, I was gonna say no. He made the first day he made they made 2.2 million. Over the weekend they made 5 million, and over a 4 day frame they did 5.9 million.
but overall, like to date, do you have that number? I think it's only like 20. And I think it cost 30 to
Ten
make.
point seven million.
How much?
10.7.
Fuck. And I think it cost 20
Yeah.
or 30 to make.
Oh
And
fuck.
they were saying because they don't make R-rated comedies for a big reason, just because the 18 and over market for the said type of comedy isn't that big. You know,
Not anymore, I'd say.
yeah, like again, a special movie could do it, but typically like that's the 15 like to 25 demographic.
Yeah.
And there's just way more people that are 25 and up that are able to go watch that don't. So
Yeah.
this is supposed to be like, oh man, if this movie hits, it's gonna open up a lot of fucking streams for all these other comedians to go get their projects pushed forward. Um, so
That sucks. I was hoping you did well.
I was hoping it was gonna do better. Again, it just wasn't overly creative, and honestly, the best joke, the hardest hitting joke. I won't say who or when it happens, but it's not Bert, and it's a complete knockout. Like, oh, dude, that's fucking awesome. Like, yeah, I didn't see that joke coming at all, and I was like, that's what I was expecting. I was expecting that the entirety of the movie, and it just didn't happen. Um, so the next movie, this one's actually in theaters. I think its wide release was this past Thursday or Friday. Dumb Money. Do you know what that's about?
No, I don't know.
So probably I didn't know it from the title, but I'm sure you're familiar. You remember the GameStop stock.
Oh yeah.
It's
Dude, that
about
was
that.
wild.
So the term "dumb money," and they show this in the movie in the very beginning. Like that's what Wall Street calls like the individual person trying to beat the market. The person who day trades, like that's the dumb money. Oh, the dumb
That makes
money's going to
sense.
come like because they just don't have, you know, if you or me were to pay $1,000, that's significant to us. But in terms of a hedge fund that could drop $100 million that same day,
Yeah.
like we don't have the money, we don't have the power to double down to move the needle on our own. So dumb money talks about what happened. It started in 2020, I think carried through 2021. Was the way in which a Reddit group called Wall Street Bets happened to do a ridiculous run on the GameStop stock, and This tells the story from the point of view of this guy. His name was he had two names. He had one where he just posted his bank account or his how much money he had or how much stock holdings he had of each particular stock. That was deep fucking value. And I think the other one was called Roaring Kitty. But it was just like a Twitch streamer. Uh, and he just put like they tell the story from his perspective because he's one of the main people in the movie. They show him as one of the main people, um, kind of the organizer. Like, oh, if he's not selling, I'm not selling. Diamond Hands. Um, there's also a Netflix documentary on it. I don't remember the name of it, but they talk about it. It's like a 3 hour thing. They tell it from a broader perspective than just the Roaring Kitty guy. Um, but Dumb Money, really good movie. Really enjoyed it. I give it an 8.5. Uh, I really really liked it. I thought it was good. It's definitely the time worth the time to go check out.
So the critics on that rated it 84, and the audience gives it us 86. So you're right in the middle.
Yeah, I went into it not expecting anything,
Yeah.
and I was like, damn, that was actually pretty damn good. Um,
And it's funny because I was following that whole GameStop fiasco that was going on during that time, and it was pretty interesting. I learned quite a bit as to how these companies get fucked over by these hedge funds.
yeah,
Um,
dude, I've never wanted to buy crypto more in my life. Sitting in that movie, it was like getting all those like old school scratches. Like, oh, dude, I should maybe I should go see if I can find something that's gonna 10x, something that's gonna fucking take off. Um,
dude, and it's rough betting on those shit coins.
yeah,
Because you'll throw money at 20 of them, and the 21 that you didn't put money on, that's the one that's gonna go up, and
yeah.
it's rough.
Uh, I'm dude. I'm sure somebody's out there making a movie called like every 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 Doge has its day. Like making one about Dogecoin or something. You know?
Copyright that right now,
Yeah.
right now.
um, but like that was the thing where everybody's like, dude, like, should I buy? Should I buy? Like,
Yeah,
and I was among some of my friends and family, like the person who was talking about crypto before it was getting popular. And Doge was something I was like maybe he can make money on it, but he can also get caught holding the bag. Like,
yeah.
and that's what I did like about the movie is that they showed the people who made money, and they showed people who also got caught holding the bag. In that
Oh, shit.
once the sell off happened, they were like, damn, they were believers for too long.
Yeah, that's something I've learned too is if you made some money off a trade, cash out.
Yeah,
You might lose out on that second push, but hey, at least you made some money. That's what counts.
looking back to when me and you were dabbling a little bit in crypto, way back when. God, we were so stupid.
We were.
We could have made money had we.
Dude, Ethereum was at $20.
Yeah. Now, mind you,
Holy shit.
at one point, one summer, me and Julian were so broke, we went halfers on a $5 chicken, rotisserie chicken from Walmart. And on the way out, we had dollars, quarters, nickels, dimes. We had like what's sales tax in New Mexico?
I think well in Socorro was like I think 6%, something like that.
So we had like 540 or like yeah, like 535, just enough I knew to cover the sales tax like on that $5 chicken. And we're walking out and Julian goes, "Dude, can I get a donut?" And they're 50 cents donuts and I felt like such a bad parent. Uh, I was like, "No, Miko, we can't afford a donut. Like, we can't get
We
one."
couldn't afford that 50-cent donut. We
Yeah,
were that broke.
yeah, and we lived off that chicken for like 2 days, 2 or 3 days. I think we made a big old thing of like shitty fried rice with it. Um, but so like we did,
Good
when
time.
we were into crypto, we didn't have. I still don't have. Julian has a little bit of money to put away towards investments now, but as a graduate student, I'm still paycheck to paycheck. Um, but the money to say, you know what, I'm gonna throw $1,000 at it, let it marinate for a couple months, a year, couple years.
Yeah.
I'm going for a 10-year strategy where me and you were like, oh no, we're gonna put it in. Hopefully by the end of the week it doubles. And like, and we got caught doing stupid shit. Like all the money that we
Yeah.
would have put in, we just would have said, hey, let's just buy the big three at the time, or four, like Litecoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Ripple. If we would have just bet in those four, we would be in positive positions on all of them.
Yeah.
Um,
And Ripple, even though it had its problems with the SEC, I don't know if you saw that, whether it was a security or not, it finally won the case and you're able to trade it now.
yeah, that was locked up for years. Like,
Yeah, I think 3 years.
yeah, but even then, like, when I first heard of Ripple, it was like 3 cents. When I actually
Yeah,
got interested in it, it was like 20 cents, and I think now it's holding at like 50. Um,
just
but
about.
we knew we were on Bitcoin at 1,000. It's at 20 some thousand. But at certain points, where like I remember one time I was telling my brother Jake, I was like, "Dude, you should buy some Bitcoin. You should buy some Bitcoin. You should buy some Bitcoin." Ah, bro, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. And then
Dude, we were calling up our family like, "You should get into crypto, go buy
uh,
Ethereum." We were annoying as shit.
that was like every like. Have you seen like the girls who talk about like the stock bros?
Yeah.
Like like, oh yeah, you need to invest. Like we were crypto bros for
Yeah,
a
we
little
were.
bit. Um, remember telling my brother like, oh, you should do this. And then like I was like, bro, it's at 10,000. Like it's still a deal. And he's like, then it dropped down to like five. He's like, see, bro, I would have lost half my money, but I'd be telling them all if you did buy it, if it did drop to five, and you bought it at 10, I'd be telling you just double up, double up. Like it's gonna rebound again.
Yeah.
What's the highest you remember Bitcoin hitting?
It hit 69,000, its highest.
What's it? I think it's like 25 right now. Um,
Just oh, yeah.
I think it's like 20 to 25, 30.
I think it's 23, 24 closer,
Yeah.
but yeah, just about.
But yeah, like so even like when I would have been advising people to buy in at the worst, when it was probably like 10,000, when I was like telling people like, hey, you should still consider buying. I think it's still a good buy. Like they would be double their position.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I really wanted to like,
We just didn't have the money, is that's it.
yeah, I wish
Which sucks.
I was very tempted to be like, let me see what accounts I could get open, and let me see if I could find $500 to throw in at something. But I was like, no, we don't have the time for that. We're busy. We're busy with everything else. And then the last movie I have to talk about is a direct to Netflix release, a movie called Reptile. This stars Benicio del Toro. He's a detective in this this the slow burn thriller. It's not fast paced. Doesn't have a lot of action. No comedy necessarily. It's just one of those very cryptic, weird, figuring out, adding a layer, removing a layer, adding a layer, removing a layer. Sort of a mystery. Small town vibes, and um, uh, I typically enjoy those sort of movies. I'm a really big Benicio del Toro fan. I love his the character he plays in the movie Sicario. Um,
Yeah.
that's such a good movie. But this one, it felt kind of clumsy. Some of the stuff they did at the end had you questioning stuff. Um, so it just wasn't. It needed a little bit more, a little bit more thought on how to tie everything together. Uh, I'm probably putting this a little higher than I should just because I'm a Benicio del Toro fan, but I'm going to put it at a 3.5. Um,
Oh, damn. You're low on this one, Gauron. So critics 43%.
not too
Do
far
you
off
wanna
from
guess
that.
audience score?
Oh, I'm guessing it has to be higher since you said I was low. I'm gonna guess like audience is probably at 75.
80%.
I don't know. It just go see it for yourself. See if you agree with me. Happy to see what you think. Where you think maybe I went wrong, but um, I just thought there was something missing to it. I don't know, and I think also part of me, I heard the title "Reptile" in the beginning, like they're in this weird house and there's like snake skins and stuff, and I was like, "Is this like a snake people movie?" Like I thought it was maybe going to be more of like this like weird, like 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 literally like reptilian psychological actual like beast thing, but no, it's just a
Now,
psychological or not psychological thing,
how
but
do you feel about that conspiracy theory that some people are reptilians?
I think it's wild. Like, um, like um, I've never gone deep on that,
Yeah,
but it to me, it's like if there was reptilian people and they were superior or something, to said normal people, why would they put themselves when they have to like do this chameleon type thing in the most public of spotlights?
yeah,
You know?
yeah. Why not go like to BlackRock where they fucking own 80% of the world
Yeah, and
and nobody knows about them?
nobody know. Like, I can't tell you who the CEO of BlackRock is.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
So that's the thing.
So
Like, if there was some secret underground species of beings that were somehow intellectually superior to humans, I wonder why they would be hiding in these covert routes when there'd be other clear ways for them to infiltrate in, especially in the advent of social media, for them to um, like really dominate or manipulate our culture to some extent.
yeah.
So
Now I haven't looked into it either. And granted, I'm not a biologist either. So take this with
the
a grain of salt. If they really are reptilian people, just get a fucking infrared camera. You'll be able to tell their body temperature. And that's it. That's all you need. That's all the proof you need.
there's just like a cold day, and they're like, "I'm so lazy. I got no energy."
Exactly. If those fuckers are coming out at 70 degrees Fahrenheit, okay,
Yeah,
that's a fucking reptilian. You should be dead.
yeah. That one, I think that's just one of those just like far fetched conspiracy theories, and I think those will get pumped out a lot to kind of hide the things that are maybe a little bit closer to being right. You know, the ones that are like 80-20 fact and bullshit, and that one
Yeah,
is it's probably 80-20 the other way, bullshit and fact, to where
yeah.
like I'm not saying that there's 20%, confident there's reptilian people. I'm not saying that at all. But just different ways of manipulating. Like, I don't know. I'm not like again. I'm not going to take a stake or a stance on that. I don't think there are reptilian people. If there are reptilian people, hey, I have nothing against you guys. All right, I'm accepting of who
Push our
you are.
numbers.
Yeah, like and subscribe. Which, by the way,
Oh shit.
all our subscribed viewers, why aren't you liking? There's like our numbers should be
Dude, not
bolstered
only that,
up.
24% of our viewers are not subscribed. So all three of you, go subscribe.
Yeah. All right. So, uh undefeated. Last week it was chips and salsa. That walked out. That still remains undefeated till today as in terms of appetizers. Today I'm gonna put forth not still food related, but not on the eating side of it. But this one's more on the preparation of food.
I see a trend here. It's all food.
I think it's just the easiest thing to make an argument on. But certain things are pretty much staples. Like everybody learns their first. What's the first pan you learn how to cook in?
The non-stick regular
A
pan,
little egg
the just
pan, right?
yeah,
Little 6-inch diameter thing, like
yeah.
right. You learn how to fry an egg. That's typically the first thing. Then there's little saucepans, and of course, if you're in a Mexican household, you're heating up tortillas on a flat pan or a colmal, right? Like
Dude, you gotta know how to make tortillas if you're Mexican.
make tortillas.
Yeah, make
Well,
tortillas, bro.
let's hear your method of making tortillas because I haven't seen you tortilla shit way.
So obviously Mexicans are known for tortillas.
Uh huh.
If you don't know how to make tortillas, are you really Mexican?
Let's hear. I want to hear you right now off the top of your head, Senor Mexican. You know that the hat is challenging you to tell me, how do you make flour tortillas way?
Flour tortillas?
Yeah.
Have I? I don't think I've made flour tortillas.
Okay. Strike one. Uh, how do you make real good corn tortillas?
uh, I don't know how to make them real good, but I know how to make them. Flour, egg, some baking soda, and then just fucking on the press, and then throw them on the fryer.
Have you have you ever made tortillas from scratch, way?
Yeah, I have.
From yourself, not helping your mom or your
No,
stepdad
no,
or
I made them. I made that and buñuelos, which is basically tortillas just with cinnamon.
yeah. But come on, for you to be saying like you need to know fucking offhand, like that's like saying like every like okay, every Mexican should know how to make a quesadilla, not to make the tortilla from scratch, but a quesadilla, right? Like that
Yeah,
that's one of the things I used to like why the fuck would you buy one? Like that's the easiest thing to make at home. Um, even though I have bought some from time to time, full disclosure, but like I'll never buy one from Taco Bell. Um, but yeah, Captain, you can't sit there and fucking say you got to know how to make tortillas from scratch. Like
I
capable
think you should.
okay, right now. Do you have a tortilla press?
I'll make some tortillas and bring them for the next
Do you have
podcast.
a tortilla press in your house right now? You could go grab in like 5 seconds.
Sadly, no.
Ha, cabrón. Do you even have a molcajete way?
No, I've been wanting to get one actually. Cabrón.
Strike two, cabrón. Do
Cabrón,
you have a colmal?
I've been living in my own house technically for like the past year.
Cabrón,
That's it.
four. So do you have a colmal way?
Yeah, that I do.
I, that will need to be shown. I don't even know we should give you till the next video because your ass will go out and buy one. You know,
No, I have one. I'm not gonna go get it.
or you'll go full Gen Z and freaking just order one off Amazon on like 1 day delivery and be like, see, I've had it the whole time.
It's all beat up. Get it off
Maybe go
Craigslist.
steal your mom's. Oh, that's suspect way. That's suspect. I have a molcajete and colmal way.
So
Do
I've
you
actually been
have
trying
the big thing to make tamales in? No, the big steamer
oh
pot.
yeah. No, I don't.
God,
Cabrón, I'm still accumulating shit, all right? I'm still trying to get everything. I barely got a couch, all
you know
right?
that's like $120 worth of heritage that you don't like. You know, like for you to be like
See,
for your staple.
my argument against that is I want to get it from Mexico, from the motherland, and actually have a good one.
You drove down there a month ago
No, I didn't.
for your dad's truck.
I went to El Paso. I didn't go to Mexico.
It's fucking 10 feet from there. Like, hey, Calvin, like, you know, the stuff you could have bought in El Paso was from the motherland coming on. Like,
Yeah, I was driving a lot, but no, I actually do want to get it from Mexico because I think the quality is way better. The discos también. I don't know if you know what that is.
the grinders.
No, discos. That's the discs where you like put the flame underneath it, you make carnitas and shit.
No, no. Oh, I know, like for like tacos and shit, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I want to get one of those too. I'll be a real Mexican man.
Yeah, Calvin, you're gonna have that right next to a pinche Traeger. Watch,
Next to what?
like a pinche Traeger smoker. You fucking low and slow and fucking tortillas de maíz, way.
I actually have a smoker.
Oh, strike three. You're out. You're out. Ring him up.
Oh no,
Governor,
that's
how did I
terrible.
punch your Mexican card 3 times way?
Granted, the smoker was a gift. A gift. So Mario, sorry, it was your smoker. It's mine now.
Okay, so yeah, that derailed this whole thing. But I was thinking about this because looking at the various cooking things that interfaces, be it air fryers, crock pots, putting stuff in the oven, fryers, rice makers. Um, I think the best thing to cook in, the thing that is undefeated, And it's something I don't want to hear from you if you haven't cooked in one yourself. It's cooking in a wok.
I'll second that. I
Learn
have a walk too.
learning how to wok is something everybody should do. You almost had to buy a new microphone, huh? You almost.
Yeah, that was close. That was close. Should
um,
know better by now.
I actually, I know some people will probably come in here and want to be like, oh no no, it's cast iron or bust. You know?
So yeah, I want to hear argument with that. A cast iron versus a wok.
Okay.
Now I'll agree a wok is a little bit better. I have my own reasons, but what's your argument?
One, I love a wok because of the height that the walls have. So even if
Yeah.
you're frying something, you don't the splatter. Most of it's contained. If you're cooking in a normal pan where there's oil popping, it normally leaves a nice little oily mess that you have to sit there and wipe up after the fact, if you remember to wipe up after the fact. Um, so I like a wok because of that. Again, you're able to make a big dish that's incorporates a bunch of ingredients and be able to stir it up without it falling over the side. Um, I have used cast iron pans in the past. Uh, the one thing I dislike about cast iron in general is the rules with it, man. There's there having to season it and how you wash it, and it can become a bit much at first. You know,
You still have to season a walkway. You know that, right?
I cook with seasoning way. Okay, like depending on the material, yeah, like a pan that you
Yeah.
used the first time, except for that one. Remember that one pinche egg pan I had that nobody could fry an egg in?
Dude, that thing was terrible.
I had an egg pan. It was a running challenge to anybody. I said, you can fry an egg in this without it sticking, without putting like with just a nice little layer of oil. I'm not gonna let you drown it in oil, but like a normal little of oil, little tablespoon on there. And again, normal egg pan. I'm like, if you could fry an egg, I'll give you $20 cash. I had a standing offer on that. No one ever cashed in. That thing's undefeated for making the worst fucking eggs. Uh, yeah, no one. I'm convinced fucking Gordon Ramsay couldn't fry an egg in that fucking thing. Like,
Now, here's the thing with a cast iron versus the wok. So I like cooking a nice piece of meat, medium rare, more or less, right? So what I'll do is I'll sear it in the cast iron, a fuck ton of butter, and then I throw it in the oven to finish it up, just so it cooks evenly. You can't do that in a wok.
yeah, so I get what you're saying. It's maybe not the best for all cooking formats, right? Like, oh, like again, you're
Yeah,
not gonna. Who's gonna fucking gonna make a quesadilla on a wok, right? Like,
I'll challenge you to that.
but uh, on the things that are capable of being cooked in it, like you know, um, I think it stands above. But I also so I've been holding out a secret weapon that I'm going to release right now. So
Got him. Better let Sierra out. She's gonna get knocked out.
no, come on. So I recently bought a wok. You
Okay.
want to guess the material?
Stainless steel, some sort of ceramic, copper.
Nope.
Dude, I don't fucking know what.
Cast iron.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
But again, you still can't throw it in the oven. It's huge. Well, you can, I guess,
Yeah,
technically.
cabrón, you could fit a turkey in there.
So it's fully cast iron.
Fully cast iron. Like I have to use little oven mid things to grab the
Dude,
sides.
go bring that thing out right now. I want to see it.
All right, let me pause this. Hold on. Okay, and we're back. So I went to my kitchen. So this just got washed. I haven't re-seasoned it. Uh, they,
Gotta make sure that's not your cereal bowl. Goddamn!
yeah, but
Holy shit!
so it's not the biggest wok. So, but I live by myself. So for me to sit there and cook stuff in it, like I just cooked a bunch of ground beef in it, like mixed the spaghetti sauce with that, so I could put over some noodles that I was cooking on the side. But
Dude, so that's the thing about woks is that you can cook for 5 people easily on those
yeah,
things.
or for prep cooking, I like it for
Yeah,
using for prep cooking. I will say the cast iron does eliminate some of the
yeah.
walk, like to actually like toss it. I have never done any of that. I'm not even a pancake flipper in a normal pan. I don't fuck around with that. Um, but so yeah, this one, like the people who have like the heated elements that are curved to the shape of a wok, so they can sit there and toss it and actually cook the way.
Yeah,
I would say because the wok is a Chinese, right? I want to say it's strictly
Asian.
Chinese. I don't know how broad Asian it is, like, but I feel like its home is within China.
Yeah.
Like, so you can see the videos of them, like like doing a stir fry or something. There's a big tossing element to it. You can't do that with this fucking this. It's a fucking.
I was gonna say that kind of defeats the purpose of a wok because you're supposed to be able to toss it in and all that.
There is no right way to walk. Okay,
Well,
as long as you get your peach steps in is all that matters. Like,
I'd say there is,
fuck
and so
around.
would my
Yeah,
chiropractor.
just because you can walk doesn't mean you have to run. Okay, uh, those other people they know how to run. Um, but yeah, I just think it's fun. It's practical.
Yeah,
Um, I think uh, you know after a certain point, uh, you would need to shift over to just like a pot if you're like making it like it's not like a wok's not for soup. That's what a
yeah,
pot's for. But all in all, like it's not the first thing you should buy. Um, the first thing you need to start with some normal pans, you know.
yeah.
But I really think like and again like a crock pot's great for beans or something that's supposed to be slow cooked or like
Yeah.
um but I think once you start walking, you don't go back. You know,
Unless you're really drunk, then
yeah,
you're crawling
yeah,
again.
yeah. um, yeah, but so I think we agree the walk when once established and you're choosing a cooking interface, the walk remain supreme.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Again,
Uh,
it's versatility and the amount of food you can cook in it, the different types of food you can cook in it.
uh,
It's yeah, I think it's undefeated.
I will say if you guys are gonna go out and buy a walk, I am very tinfoily about anything that has super fabricated nonstick surfaces. Um, all the I think they're TFAS for short, or PFAS, uh, polyfluorinated aromatic substances. There's a whole thing, documentary called Dark Water, or docu series, or even a movie called Dark Water. I think there's a movie with Mark Ruffalo called Dark Water. There's a documentary on Netflix that goes into. If you were to put Netflix documentary on Teflon, um, but essentially these these compounds, which are just a lot of carbon chains linked together that have a bunch of fluoride, make for a really good nonstick surface. But these compounds are known as forever compounds once they're ingested because like it's your body can't get rid of them, and once they accumulate to a certain level, they can be have a lot of really bad detrimental effects. Um, and go watch Dark Water. It's a very informative. If you like documentaries, you'll really enjoy it. But yeah, I actually had a walk before I bought this cast iron one. That was like just the Walmart Teflon coated one. I actually threw it out um, because I'll only buy something that's like cast iron, stainless, or like an actual real metal, like earth metal, not out any of these fabricated things like that, like the Gordon Ramsay hexclad. I don't know. I haven't looked into those, but like, I would stay away from those. Learn to cook on a cast iron or stainless or copper copper pot. That's what I would recommend. Um, you have any feelings on those things, one way or another?
Nope.
No.
Now, one thing for sure is learn how to season the cast iron. That's really important. Um,
I go from talking about like the health aspect of it, and you're like, yeah, like the performance. Like,
yeah, dude, I enjoy seasoning the cast irons. Honestly,
I fucking hate
it
that
takes me
part.
a good hour, hour and a half.
How- Okay, I don't want to hear you bitching about editing these videos anymore. Every time you cook, you're Kevin. It's supposed to
Well,
take,
I don't fucking season them every time either. When I first get them, it takes a good hour, and then after that, it takes like maybe 20 minutes.
dude. I honestly like so. Typically, if I had a bunch of dishes I did when I washed this one, but typically what I'll do is after I wash it, I'll put it on I'll leave the heating element on my stove on. I'll put it back
Yeah.
on there to dry, and then I dump some oil in there, get a napkin, go around, and we're done. Uh,
No, so what I do is I heat it, put some oil, leave it to burn a little bit, put some oil again, and then I throw it in the oven for like a good 30 minutes.
Gabron, your ancestors are crying right now because when it's come to your kitchen, you have the whitest kitchen I've
I
ever.
have been told I am a very white Mexican.
Coming for me, okay? Like, mind you, I'm a you know what? I no hablo like kid. I'm not, I'm not able to
¿Qué
speak Spanish.
dijo?
What?
¿Qué dijo?
Uh, um, but yeah, I mean, to me, when I've examined like culture and stuff, I think the food's the last thing to leave a family in the
Yeah,
culture. Like especially people when I look at people moving to America, like um, it's easy to like lose like something like a quinceañera or some cultural things that are strongly tied. Especially if there's an embarrassment if you're moving to an area that isn't uh, doesn't have a big demographic of your religion or sect or your nationality.
yeah,
Um, but I think the food is something that's so personal that ties. It has so many memories attached to it and experiences. I think that's the last thing to leave. And even sadly, in our family, like certain elements have been lost. Like some of my grandma's recipes, I don't think anybody knows. You know, um,
yeah,
we used to always get together at my grandma's house for around Christmas time to make not the kids or the men, it was mostly just the women making tamales all day.
yeah,
But that was the thing, like all the cousins would be there, and we'd all get together and fight and drink. And I mean, I was just running around with my cousins fighting and playing and getting dirty and just doing the stupid shit that boys do. Um, but like that was a thing for the family. Uh, but once my grandma passed, like we lost that element. We
yeah,
lost that central house where everybody put their bullshit away for the sake of grandma and making tamales.
yeah.
Um,
It's interesting because, well, now that you mentioned the buñuelos is what I learned from making for my grandma, and I looked it up. I was like, where the fuck did these come from? And it's a Spanish tradition. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. So it's been passed down for a few generations, and that's probably why she knows how to make them.
it's funny. I was talking because that's essentially just a flour. For those who don't know, a flour tortilla, fried and seasoned with like cinnamon and sugar.
Yeah,
Right.
basically.
I was talking to a friend here on campus, and she's originally from Cancun, and we were talking about those. I was like, well, what are the? I couldn't think of the name, and I was like, I don't want to. And there's a story. Uh, what are the little Mexican, like not the little Mexican breads, but like the Mexican rolls called? Let's start with the B.
But Mexican
Yeah,
rolls?
like we go to like a Mexican supermarket, they'll sell rolls for like 50 cents each or $1 a piece. Like the Walmart and Socorro used to have them. But like if you wanted to make like a torta, uh,
Oh fuck! What is it called?
starts with the B,
Bolillos.
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 Yeah, so I remember she might get mad at me. My brother might get in trouble, but uh, my sister in law Beth wanted my brother to get some of those. She's like, "Oh, go
Yeah.
get some of those good pogotes." I was like, "What the fuck?" Right? And so ever since like I've heard that story, it's crossed those two things in my head. So like when I think of like that Mexican roll, I'm like, "Bagote." But I was like, "Fuck that, that's not it." Right? It's kind of like when the Prince Rupert's drops
Oh yeah.
versus like the Prince Albert piercing.
Yeah.
And on the test, I was like, Prince. Albert or Ruber. Oh god damn. I'm not gonna
You don't want to put the
50-50.
wrong thing on
Yeah, I'm
there.
not gonna put dick piercing on this materials test. But yeah, I was talking to a friend who's from Cancun. And I was like, oh yeah, like those. She said the buñuelos, right? Uh,
Buñuelos, yeah.
yeah, and I was like, oh yeah, that's just like the flour tortilla. She's like, is that all it is? So like she had eaten them, and but she had like never actually thought about like what they were made out
Yeah.
of, you know. So and that was something like we
Yeah.
used that dude, that's survivor food.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
that's just here's something to
Fucking
eat.
flour and sugar,
There's
yeah.
nothing left in the cabinet. Let's just get some calories in you and
Yeah.
uh, uh, um, I feel like that a lot of things with flour tortillas are kind of related more to that survivor. Like, dude, because I can do a good flour tortilla with just butter in it.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah. Or,
Dude, fucking quesadillas, just cheese and
oh
tortillas, and
yeah,
that's
but
it.
that's obvious. But like people at home, I don't know if they've ever had like a good flour tortilla. And I don't think I've ever had real maple syrup. I think that's something I need to go look into because
It's expensive.
I've only had like the Aunt Jemima like corn syrup
Yeah.
stuff. But dude, some of
Which
that.
Aunt Jemima is no longer a thing.
Oh, just she,
Yeah.
Thea Jemima with
I don't know what the fuck it is now, but yeah. Aunt Jemima is no longer a thing now.
um, but just a tortilla with some of that, freaking cheap syrup in there.
Yeah.
They roll that thing up. Oh, that's a good time.
That taken out of context, roll that up, that's a good time.
Yeah. So, all right,
Snoop
man.
Dogg over here.
Let's go ahead and we'll wrap this up. So, again, guys, let us know what you think about our decision to name the walk the undefeated kitchen cooking what platform.
Yeah.
Right? Let us know what you think of that. If you've seen the movies that I talked about, let us know about that. Again, do hit that like and subscribe. It is appreciated. It does help us out tremendously. It helps with the analytics. We have been seeing a boost in that, so thank you. But yeah, hit like, subscribe. Julian, you got anything else?
Send in suggestions. I mean, you guys are listening to this. You guys are the ones that are, paying attention to all this. So let us know what you guys want us to talk about.
Yeah, don't be shy. Drop us a comment. Well, we'd love to hear from you. So
Yeah.
that's it for this movie one day. We'll see you guys on WTF Wednesday in a couple days. Take it easy.
Take care, everybody. Have a good week.